congratulations on the win. What are your thoughts on a performance, one that means you qualify automatically?
I think we control very well the game. We had more possession. Of course, we have to understand the opponent. Is not, with all due respect, is not the same level as Premier League. So we have more time to think, to connect the plays, and I think Kobe in that position played very well, with more freedom, with not so much responsibility running back all the time. And I think the lads did a good job, clean sheet again, create some chances. We have to score more goals because today we had the opportunities, but in the end we made some rotation. We took 2 games from the schedule. It was a good day for us.
The only thing you didn't mention, Ruben, is the key and decisive substitutions at half-time. Did they change the game?
No, not entirely the game, but again, I already spoke about that. In the first half, they run a lot to cover all the spaces, and then you feel it that in the second half, the opponent also get tired, and it's easy for the guys that come in. But of course, Garner has a different pace. In this more like a forward, a winger is different from Chris that was playing in that position. Ahmad is really good on 1-against-1 and can push players to defend with them, open more space. So was a good work from everybody.
Yeah. Did the goals represent a sort of style of football that you're looking to introduce at Man United?
Of course, we want to improve a lot the way we play. We want to play a little bit more closer than today, but again, we need to play like this against an opponent with more pressure, with different pace, with more quality on the ball. So we have to adapt and to improve the team.
3 wins in a row. Does it start to feel like you're gaining some momentum now?
It depends. The most important thing is not the 3 that we won, is the next one. So let's focus. It's Sunday. We will arrive tomorrow, so we have 1 day to prepare. We have to recover the players. We are going to sleep here, to work in the morning, so we are trying everything to recover the players and then to be competitive.
And how pleased are you to have a less busy schedule in February?
That is the biggest thing. More than the win is to have time to train, to have time to recover the players for playing Premier League. That is a key point for us.
Thank you, Ruben.
Thank you very much.
And yet, the man off the bench tonight, Ruben Mainoo, scored and made 1. Let's hear from him post-match with Jeff Brazier.
Kobe, what are your thoughts on a winning performance?
Yeah, I mean, definitely tough game as we expected. You know, tough place to come. The atmosphere was really good, and yes, right now it's just important to keep on winning. You know, more and more wins, and in this tournament we want to go as far as possible. So yeah, that's how it starts.
We saw you in a more advanced role today. The manager said he was certainly very happy with your performance. How was it for you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm just happy to be on the pitch for Manchester United, but yeah, wherever the manager needs me to play. Today it was higher up, and yeah, it turned out well, and I enjoyed it.
Talk us through your finish. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm more annoyed that I missed the 1 in the first half, but you know, managed to get the 1 in the second, but I would have been happy with 2.
And is it a relief to not have to play those 2 extra games in February?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of games at the moment, and there has been over December and January, so anywhere we can get rest is important. So, yeah.
Kobe, thank you.
Thank you.
I cannot imagine Manchester United selling that young jewel. We shall. 3 wins on the spin. Best run of the season, Don.
He's playing well. And he speaks well as well. I think he's very honest. Sometimes a little bit too honest, but you get the feeling when he talks and when he sees what he's seeing inside Manchester United and at Carrington, you know what he's saying is for the best and it's for the greater good of the club. And they started the campaign quite trickily, didn't they? They drew the first 3 games.
They
looked
did.
a little bit of a shambles at times, but they won the last 5. They need to come out of that in terms of the Premier League. The Premier League form's still not amazing, so they got a good 1-0 win against Fulham that you probably will never want to watch again, but they got the clean sheet and the 3 points. But they have to now try and kick on, because sitting in the bottom half of the table, them and Tottenham should never, ever be there.
Well, no, and really, given that league position that they're both in, isn't this all the more of a priority? Isn't this their chance?
Yeah, I mean, I always think English clubs should be winning this competition by dint of the fact that the Premier League is so wealthier than the other leagues, that when we talk about Europe's top 5 leagues, we need to stop doing that, because the Premier League is out on its own. And, you know, I think with particularly with United, the amount of investment that has gone into United, the fact that they're all of a sudden in the last couple of years having to think about PSR, when we always used to just think, oh, United, richest club in the world in terms of revenue, commercial, and they've spent it, and got nowhere with it. But nevertheless, they should still be the favourite for this competition. You know, I think it's a failure if they don't win this competition. It sounds crazy to say that at this early stage, but you know, Jose went and won this competition. When
I
he
wouldn't
was
fancy them with a
manager.
full-strength Tottenham side.
No.
I wouldn't trust Man United with a full-strength Tottenham
Okay,
side.
Spurs, who they can't meet, actually, the way the draw has worked out, they can't meet till the final now.
I wouldn't.
Those two
I think
weren't
Spurs.
to get
I
that
think
far.
fully fit Spurs got more about them.
Yeah.
With Spurs, with everybody fit and firing?
Yeah.
A little bit more than Man United?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
They proved that at Old Trafford.
the fact is, you say Spurs are all fit and firing. I mean, the team that's been a pre-season Elfsborg side tonight, Spurs, is the Tottenham elite development team, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, with those kids.
Yeah.
So, you know, who's going to be left in May?
I just think when I look at it, if you're gauging it on which club do you think needs the more drastic surgery in terms of players in, players out, it's Man United. Spurs are not a million miles away. Once everyone's fit, they're not a million miles away.
So, yeah, you bang on. Spurs and Manchester United, anything less than getting to the final of this tournament with the teams left, I don't think is good. I think Tottenham will come back and I think it's been a great finish to the season for them. I think what we could do, and you're right, the Premier League is streets ahead in terms of how strong it is compared to the other leagues. When we get to the knockout stages, I remember playing in France, and when you played in Europe in France, they moved your fixtures around to try and help their teams.
Yeah.
I think that would help benefit, because say Manchester United, they play on a Thursday night, they might have to go to Brighton Sunday at 12. Do you know what I mean? Or to Brentford, and it is all these other Galatasaray, Besiktas, they're going to somewhere in Turkey where they can play at 75% and win. And as the months
Dutch do it, don't they?
the
The
Dutch
Dutch
do
do
it
it.
well, and as the months accumulate, the intensity of our league actually can be detrimental in the backstage. So clearly now we're looking at it at the turn of the year. Manchester United and Tottenham are the best teams left in this competition, in my opinion. You can argue maybe the Turkish sides might have a say. You know, Galatasaray.
Galatasaray, one of Man United's possible opponents, as well as Tottenham's.
You know,
beat them last year in
on
the Champions
paper, on paper, you might say that, but I think, you know, Chelsea certainly have to get to the Conference League final and win that. And I think the two other British clubs, you know, with a little bit of help domestically around like this fixturing and scheduling, because we want our teams at the back end of this. You know, we know we're the strongest league because we've got the most money and we drive that side of it. But it's so intense. We could have helped ourselves to help Manchester United, help Tottenham get to the back end, and it'll eventually all come back and help our league.
Thing is, I mean,
as well.
my argument was it's like economic, you know. But in that, Premier League teams are so rich that they can have the squad depth.
Yeah.
That the teams that maybe their leagues help with their fixtures, they don't have that squad depth.
Yeah.
You look at that bench that United have got tonight: Onana, 50 million; Lindelof, Harry Maguire, most expensive centre back of all time.
Yeah.
You know, Xerxes, okay, 45 million, that was a buyout clause. Diallo, teenager, 17, 35 million they spent when he was at Atlanta. Casemiro, highest paid player probably in the Premier League. On the bench for United tonight.
Yeah.
They, on that basis alone, they should be winning this competition. Yeah.
And yet they lent on.
Money doesn't make you smart.
No, it doesn't. Nor does it rest your
You
legs.
say that when you're in a contract.
Yeah. True.
Deserves a lot of credit for making some subs in the second half. Amajalo coming on and Alejandro Garnacho. They provided some impetus, they provided some pace, and they got the finishing touch. But this was all about Mainoo on a big day for him.
Yeah, he was good. Collier was good as well in midfield. I think when you see Garnacho coming off the bench and obviously making an impact at any given time now, he's still got this, I would say, status to prove that he belongs at Manchester United. All the rumours about him leaving the football club, outstanding second half from him. Every time you watched, you lifted your head up to see what was going on in the United game. He was breaking down that left-hand side, so the creativity's coming back. I'm slightly still concerned about the performance from Højlund in front of goal, because the midfielders are stepping up. The kids seem to be stepping up again, but I'm waiting for that striker to really step up for Manchester United. There's certainly room for improvement now.
Manchester United, the only team to go unbeaten in this entire Europa League run. How amazing is that statement, given how much negativity has been around them this season, Tone?
Yeah, it's incredible. You always need things to make your dressing room feel good, right? And this is, okay, we look at this, and the expectation, if you're Manchester United in this competition, is not only to do that, but also going to win something like this. And this might be their pathway into a Champions League, right? Winning this. And if Ruben Amorim has his way, this team will start to click, because we're getting indications from him that he's starting to feel good with some players. Obviously, a little bit of a rotation today, which is completely understandable. He gets this
second-half goals from Diogo Dalot and Ruben Mainoo seal Man Ut's progression to Europa League last 16 with 2-0 win over Steaua Bucharest in Romania. Hosts finish 11th in table and drop into playoffs. Man United will not find out their knockout opponents until February 21st. They dominated without creating a great deal in the opening 45 minutes in the Romanian capital before the surprise half-time addition of Ahmad and Garnacho revitalized United's tired attack, with the latter striking the post. Within 2 minutes of his arrival, Bruno Fernandes rattled the woodwork again. Moments before Ahmad's throw-in led to Ruben Mainoo finding space to slide the ball through the 6-yard box for Diogo Dalot to slot home the opener on the hour. Daniel Berligia's rasping drive from distance nearly upstaged Fernandes as it bounced back off the bar with Steaua inches from levelling the game, before Garnacho showed his quality to pick out Mainoo with a cutback the midfielder stroked into the far corner. That ended any lingering sense of jeopardy for the visitors and ensured Ruben Amorim the 2 free midweeks in February he has longed for, though he and United will not find out who they will face when their European adventure resumes until the last of 16 draw on February 21st.